On the bench all the time. He is sitting just to the right of Brian Dutcher, who joins this show on a regular basis. He is Tony Bland, a former Aztec player himself and now on the coaching staff, who joins us from Las Vegas following their first victory in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. He's on Twitter, by the way, at TonyBland04. Tony, good to talk to you. Darren Smith, how are you?
Darren, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Was it a late night last night?
It was a late night. I was doing great until I called in and Jordan called me sir.
He called you sir?
Yeah, he called me sir. I was like, I had to put my ID out. Like, hold on a second.
Well, you know what that means? That means you're getting a little old there, buddy. I hate to break the news to you.
I just got carded. I went into like the pool area and they're like, sir, you can't be here. They like check my ID, and then I go from that to sir, like two extremes. I'm confused right now.
Well, they ID everybody in Vegas. You know that they ID 80-year-old. Steve Fisher gets ID'd in Vegas. What do the players call you?
T Bland.
T Bland.
Yeah, I don't want the. I want to stay young as long as possible.
I hear you, man. It's a tough thing getting old. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm struggling a little bit on that front as well. Oh, man, it's tough. Well, hey, you guys got through your first game last night. So I would think that, as much as there was still this little tiny school of thought that, hey, who knows, we're not in until we're in, was it a little bit of a relief to get through the first game?
Yeah, I think it was a relief. We went up against a really good Boise team who we feel is an NCAA tournament team. And for us to go out there and not play our best basketball, obviously turned the ball over a lot, but still able to come and pull a win out. We're excited about it, and we think we're getting a little momentum from that win.
Well, I know people will say that was an ugly game last night, but you guys still figure out a way to score 73 points, okay? Not everybody else did that in the Mountain West Conference Tournament yesterday, by the way. You had the highest score on the board of all four games. But from where you guys sit, the way you play defense, knowing the way you play basketball there, do you still look at these as kind of ugly wins, or does it mean something different to you?
You know how it is, Darren. A win around this time, they're going to be ugly. Everyone knows. We know what Boise going to do. They know what we're going to do. We know what New Mexico's going to do. It's the same. Everybody knows each other play, so all the wins are going to be ugly. So, I don't care if it's 1-2, however it comes, we'll take it,
And, defense is kind of what you guys do, right? Isn't it fair to say that as long as you guys hold the team somewhere in the mid to low 60s, you guys kind of feel like you have a shot. You feel like you're in the position that you're going to figure out a way to win a game. For sure.
Coach stressed defense. The guys, I think they're starting to have fun playing defense. And, when you can get out there and, don't play as well as you're capable of playing offensively and still come away with a victory for a really good team, that right there, gives the guys more confidence to go into the next game and do the same thing. So we think that we got them rolling right now on the defensive end of the ball.
We're talking to Tony Bland at San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. So you guys get through the game last night. On television last night, they put a stat up on the screen that I hadn't seen all season long, and that's that you guys have now won, with the win last night, 91 straight games in which you have a lead with 5 minutes to go in the game. Are you even aware of that stat, or is this the first time you've heard that?
This is the first I've heard it. That is amazing. We need to change coach's name to like 5 Minute Fisher.
That is, that to me tells me that when it matters most, if you guys have a lead, you know how to protect it in the waning minutes of a basketball game.
Right. That's all, our general. He's, when you have a guy that's that poised and that confident in the huddle, even though I'm pretty sure, some of them games were down, went down under the 5 minutes. But when you got a guy that's like, okay, guys, we're going to win this game. Everything is okay. Make a joke in the huddle and just relax everybody. And, coach has been doing it for a while. And me being an aspiring young coach and want to be a head coach one day, I'm learning a lot.
We're talking to Tony Bland on San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. You brought up the turnovers there. It's not so much the turnovers, Tony, as I would look at and say, well, the fact that they came from X, the fact that they came from Shepard, who's bringing the ball up the court, concerning it all, what can you do between now and New Mexico to address that?
I have to admit it was a bad game of turnovers. I had one. Marshall Falk in the stands had one. It was just one of them days the guys just turned the ball over. But we have confidence in our guys, especially X, especially JJ, and Winston is definitely giving that, we can pull it together. And, when you ask guys to make plays and they have the ball in their hand, turnovers are going to happen. But those guys are good. They'll watch film. They'll see where they they went wrong at, and I think they get better from it.
Well,
but,
how do you
when you look on the positive end, the beginning of the season, we didn't turn the ball over, but we couldn't make shots. Now, it reversed. We're making timely shots and being a little sloppy with the ball. So.
And you're spreading it out as well. I mean, 19 points for Franklin last night, 18 points for X last night, 17 points for Tapley. I would think as much as everybody says you want to lean on your star and your most productive scorer in Franklin, it's probably a pretty good thing when you see a little bit of spread out offense there and you see three different guys score those kind of points.
For sure. Whenever we get Xavier things rolling, and if we get somebody else rolling with Chase and Jamal, we know it's going to be a good night. So we just got to continue to give those guys confidence to go out there and, hey, get going. Coaches never said, hey, don't go out there and shoot the ball. And Mark Fisher is great at drawing up plays to get other people off. So if they can get out there and execute, then we'll have a great night, I promise.
What did you see from New Mexico yesterday? 59 points playing against Wyoming. I caught a little bit of that game. I mean, certainly on the stat sheet it didn't look like a thing of beauty, but what did you see from New Mexico in 59?
They're a really good team. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. Player of the year, first team. They have three guys on their team that could have been player of the year in our league. So it's a good team. It's a good team, but we feel like we have a really good team as well. And, we split on the season, so we're going to go here in neutral court and, see what happens. We're going to throw it in the air, see what happens, D.
Does it feel like a neutral court? Because they did something different to the court this year, didn't they, where they decorated it with that whole mountain range and things?
When I first walked in, I thought I was in Wyoming.
Right.
I didn't understand what's going on. I was confused, like with Jordan a little while ago. I'm like, what is going on now? Vegas is tearing me apart. But no, it feels like a neutral court now that we got the win. So I'm all right with it.
Okay. Well, as somebody who played for this program, the idea that, and it does appear, and I hope you're not superstitious about this stuff because I know you're not in until you're in, and everybody will wait on Sunday and watch it on TV here, unless you happen to win the tournament on Saturday. But as somebody who played for this program, has been around it for a long time, the idea that San Diego State's going to 4 straight NCAA tournaments, you got great perspective on that. Did you ever think that day would come?
No, you know what? I envisioned it before getting here, but when I got here, I'm like, this is going to be tough. But then again, that's how these guys are over here. We have from top to bottom, this program is ran great. Even from the administration, everybody do a great job here. And now it's a culture where we expect to win. I do not want to see you I do not plan on hanging out with you in Final Four because if I'm hanging out with you, that means we're not playing. So I don't want to see you at all.
Right. That was last year in New Orleans.
That was last year. Yeah. So that's the culture. We expect. We think that now we can go out here and win 8 games or whatever it is and win a national championship. And even if no one else thinks that, we think we can. And that's the culture that's over here now.
Last question, it would be on one player and specifically Winston Shepard here. Since you've seen it all season long, and I remember when he came in, you talk about the Final Four last year in New Orleans, and we talked a little bit about Winston Shepard, and you were telling us about who he is and, first time you saw him and everything else. Give us an idea. How has he improved throughout the year from your position, Tony? How have you seen him improve from start to where we are today?
You know what? The biggest thing with Winston, his biggest improvement has been mentally. He's able to go out there and focus. Before, he was always a superstar player, and it wasn't easy for him. So it was rough, and he was real snappy. But now he's able to take criticism. He's able to focus and bounce back when coach get on him. So he's always been a ultra talented player. One of the best players I've seen as far as talent wise. And now he's able to incorporate the mental aspect of it, and he's still got a ways to go. He's still a freshman, still young, but he's getting better.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I remember a game that you guys played earlier this season. You just made me think of it. It was against USC, and maybe you'll remember this. I know sometimes these games all blur together, but remember, he picked up a technical foul, and Coach Fisher brought him over and tried to explain to him, like, listen, you can't do that. And he kind of mouthed off a little bit to Coach Fisher, and Coach pulls him out of the game, sits him next to Dutcher. Dutcher tells Winston to go talk to Tony Bland. And I remember then he ended up sitting next to you, and kind of, I guess, as the young guy in the group, it felt like watching on television. You were in charge of trying to settle him down and explain to him, listen, you're not in high school anymore here. This is the college game. This is big boy basketball. Do you remember that game?
I do remember that game. And that's one of my roles on the team. I can relate to these guys, and, I'm able to step away from it, and I'm not far removed. So I'm able to say, hey, this is what you have to do. It's not just Winston, it's Jamal, it's Chase, it's everybody. And that day with Winston, you know how it is. He's so competitive, as all the rest of the team, that, you just want to win. And if you feel like you disappoint the team or doing something to hurt the team, you just get emotional and, just try to calm the guys down. And he's gotten a lot better. I guarantee you won't see any more of those episodes. He's much, much better from there.
I thought it was just a cool moment because, you could actually see a guy transform right before your eyes over the span of 30-plus games during the college basketball season. It's just part of the process if you're a competitor like Shepard is. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. What do you got on plan? You got a little film study, a little pool study? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm about to go. That's a good idea. I'm going to study film at the pool. How about that?
Nice. You got a rough life. You're enjoying that day off here in the Mountain West Conference tournament, huh? Keep an eye on the players, would you?
I got you. That's what I need to. I need to go to the pool and make sure they're not down there. I'm working.
Yeah, there you go. Go scout it out. Give us the report later. We'll follow along on Twitter. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, D.
All right, Tony Bland on Twitter at TonyBland04.